Have you ever thought that your struggles make you weak? If so, you're not alone, but that belief is one of the biggest misconceptions about resilience today. In a world that often glorifies perfect emotional resilience, many overlook something crucial. When people think of Kintsugi art of repairing broken pottery with golf, they tend to focus solely on the beauty of the cracks, imagining a flawless recovery. However, there's so much more beneath the surface. What if I told you that this mindset could actually harm you? It's easy to feel pressured to present a polished version of yourself, pushing aside the pain you're experiencing. This pressure can build up, leaving you feeling overwhelmed by expectations. Take someone going through a tough breakup. They might put on a brave face, share uplifting quotes, and seem to have moved on. Yet, behind closed doors, they are grappling with loneliness and sadness. This fog can lead to isolation, deepening their despair. Now, let's connect this back to Kintsugi. The true beauty of this philosophy lies not just in repairing what's broken, but in valuing that brokenness. Ignoring your cracks means missing out on the lessons they offer. When a pot is mended with gold, it tells a story. A line represents a journey, a struggle, a scar, a triumph. Those cracks remind us that healing doesn't have to be perfect. It's okay to be vulnerable. Here's the twist: by chasing an idealized version of resilience, you risk losing touch with your true self. Avoiding hurt might seem easier. Whenever you feel pressured to be strong, ask yourself, are you hiding your truth? The more you resist your emotions, the more they accumulate like unaddressed cracks in a vase. So, what can you do when that weight feels heavy? Start by embracing your imperfections. Allow yourself to feel, to grieve, and to reflect. Recognize that every crack in your story adds to the masterpiece you are becoming. As we wrap up, think about your own life. What cracks are you hiding? The next time you feel the urge to present a perfect image, remember there's strength in vulnerability. You don't have to be perfect, you just need to be real. If you want to explore this journey of self-acceptance further, consider examining those cracks instead of covering them up. It might just lead you to a deeper sense of resilience. What if I told you that the cracks in your life could actually become your greatest strength? It might sound surprising, but there's a philosophy gaining traction called Kintsugi. Society often suggests that being emotionally resilient means never breaking or showing weakness. But what if that's a harmful myth? What if the pressure to appear unbreakable is actually holding you back? Imagine a beautiful bowl that was once whole but is now shattered into pieces. Most people would toss it aside thinking it's worthless. However, in Kintsugi, those imperfections are celebrated and repaired with gold. This is just about pottery, it's a metaphor for life. What if your own brokenness could lead to something even more beautiful? We often overlook the hidden costs of striving for perfection. Perhaps you're trying to maintain that perfect image at work, in relationships, or on social media. But what happens when the cracks start to show? Anxiety builds, inner turmoil festers, and you find yourself struggling in silence. Let's take a moment to reflect on a time when you felt overwhelmed. Did you put on a brave face, convincing everyone you were okay? Those moments of vulnerability often lead to genuine connections and authenticity. Kintsugi teaches us that embracing our flaws can help us build deeper relationships. Now, imagine you're at a dinner party, surrounded by friends who seem to have it all together. The weight of expectations closes in, and the pressure to maintain your perfect image feels overwhelming. You want to break free, but how do you do that? Acknowledging your imperfections isn't a sign of weakness, it's a courageous act. By allowing yourself to be vulnerable, you can start to mend those cracks not just for yourself, but for others too. So, what's the key takeaway here? The beauty of Kintsugi lies in the art of acceptance. Embrace your imperfections, and you might discover a more resilient version of yourself. Life doesn't have to be about hiding your scars, it can be about transforming them into something extraordinary. If this resonates with you, consider sharing this perspective with someone else. Together we can redefine what it means to be truly resilient. Your story, with all its cracks, truly matters. Imagine breaking something beautiful and feeling that loss deeply. What if I told you that many of us carry unseen cracks within ourselves? In a world that prizes perfection, we often overlook the cracks in our emotional resilience. Kintsugi philosophy reveals a profound truth. We've been taught that showing our flaws is a weakness, yet that's where true beauty lies. When you look in the mirror, do you see strength or just a polished exterior? It's easy to hide behind a smile, but what happens when stress sneaks in? You might not notice it at first. Small signs like irritability, fatigue, or a lingering sense of dread can bubble beneath the surface. Before you know it, you might feel overwhelmed by an ocean of expectations. Kintsugi teaches us that our brokenness can transform into beauty, yet many of us cling to the idea of being unbreakable. We push through pain, ignoring the subtle signals our bodies send. Perhaps you've felt your heart race unexpectedly or noticed yourself clenching your jaw during a routine conversation. You're not alone, these are whispers of stress calling for your attention. Let's dive deeper. Picture yourself at work with a deadline looming. You might think, I can handle this. But as days turn into weeks, that initial determination can start to crumble. You might find yourself snapping at a colleague or feeling an inexplicable wave of sadness. This could be the moment you begin to recognize those stress signals. Sometimes it's the smallest cracks that led to the biggest breaks. You may not collapse dramatically. Instead, in that moment, you realize something vital is missing: your connection to yourself. But what if you could change this narrative? Imagine embracing those cracks instead of hiding them. Each crack could tell a story of resilience rather than failure. You can learn to pause, breathe, and truly listen to what your body is saying. As we reflect on this, consider how you might reframe your relationship with stress. Acknowledge those signals. Instead of brushing them